Hello and welcome back to the on wrestling and to another edition of Smackdown Out of 10. And yeah, big episode of Smackdown today. Several big stuff lined up on the show, including Drew McIntyre addressing his attack on Cody Rhodes, the Street Profits versus DIY. But we started off after a few shots of the arena and superstars arriving. Solo Sikoa in the MFT's entrance. He talked some trash about returning to the blue brand before Sami Zayn came out. Once Solo got his friends to leave the ring, so Zayn felt comfortable. Zayn thanked him for ruining his chances for the world title because it freed him up to focus on other goals like the US title. Zayn announced he's a SmackDown superstar now. Sikoa and his crew attacked him when Jimmy Uso came out to help. It looked like Jackie and Fatty would even the odds. The portion of Sikoa's promo before Zayn showed up sounded like it was ChatGPT. It was about as generic as you can get, even if his usual final delivery couldn't make it interesting. Once Zayn got there, things picked up and they had a good exchange. Sikoa was his usual cookie self and Zayn was resilient underdog he's always been. All this booked a 6-man tag for the main event. It was very predictable, nothing unique about the segment, but yeah, accomplished what it needed to do. Before Charlotte Flair accompanied Alexa Bliss to the ring for a match against Piper Niven, who had Alba Fyre and Chelsea Green in her corner. The size difference was obviously immediately in play. Niven took control of these and looked like she might go after Alexa's Lily Doll, but Bliss jumped on her with a sleep hold. This was a slow, methodical match until Bliss began making a comeback once we returned from a break. We knew Niven can work quicker than this, but it never felt like they left second gear. Flair and Bliss fought off Fire and Green before Bliss rolled up Niven for the win. Fire came in and super kicked Alexa as she was celebrating. The Queen tried to help, but the numbers game was too much for her. If WWE wanted to make Fire and Niven look a real threat to the tag titles, Niven would not have been booked to win here. Alexa would not have suffered from taking one loss, but Niven could have benefited quite a lot, I guess. So yeah, I'll give it a 5 out of 10. We then got The Miz and Carmelo Hayes, who reunited last week, and they took on Fraxium. The A-lister insisted on starting for his team against Axiom, but he noticed Gacy standing in the crowd and hesitated. After initial look-up, Luna showed up. The crowd were chanting for Mello when The Miz tagged in to avoid having to face the speed of Fraser. The former tag champ Fantasy were building momentum as the show went to break. We returned to see Mello in control, but it didn't last long. The Miz and Fraser both tagged in, and High-Fire started using his incredible speed to dish out offense. Mello and The Miz are both good at what they do. Fraxium has been one of the most reliable acts since arrival on the main roster. Every single match they ends up being one of the best things we see all week. Mello had the match run, but the A-lister tagged himself in and hit a finisher for the win. Hayes looked disappointed, but The Miz was elated. So yeah, an intriguing little angle there. 7 out of 10 from me. Moving on into DIY versus the Street Profits. McIntyre came to the ring after the break to talk about why he attacked Cody Rhodes last week. The announcer said they didn't have an update on Rhodes' condition. There was a match this promo, it ended without interaction, as we then moved on to that tag team match. DIY took control of Ford with some double team attacks, and after a break the Profits began building up some momentum. Ford was single-handedly taking on both men while Dawkins recovered from an earlier attack. The Rays sent B-Fab into the steel sets to create a distraction that allowed DIY to make a comeback. She also hit a Hurricane Rana on Ford to send him off the apron while the ref was occupied elsewhere. Despite the Rays' interference, the Street Profits got the win. This was another great match in this feud, another example of why the Smackdown has the best tag team division. So yeah, 7 out of 10. This week's main event was then the 6-man tag that was booked in the opening segment. Before they went to the ring, Fatu made it clear he's only helping out Jimmy and didn't really care about Zayn. Tala Tonga was the odd man out, so it was Sikoa, Tonga Leo and JC Mateo, Jimmy and JC. Then the match started with a kick exchange that led to Zayn tagging in a double team spot. Mateo had no problem picking him up and planting him in the corner so his team could never work him over. Zayn spent a long time in the ring being isolated from his team. Once he made the hot tag to the Samoan Werewolf, he was going nuts after everyone was opposing him. Sikoa was able to hit him and take him down and hit a splash, but it wasn't enough to get the win. Zayn came in, was unable to secure the win with an exploded superplex and then a hell of a kick to Sikoa. So yeah, a solid enough main event. Gets a 6 out of 10 from me. I think good to see Zayn on Smackdown and kind of signalling out his intentions, if you will. This week's show had the standard 4 matches we got used to on SmackDown, but 2 of them were worth the price of admission. The tag match between Mello and Miz and Fraxium, and then Profits and DIY, probably a slightly better match. But yeah, it didn't quite have the big stars in it, but I still thought it was a solid enough show. So yeah, on the whole, gets a 6 out of 10 from me. That's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe, follow us on our socials, link in the description below for daily wrestling news, meme and content. Subscribe to our other channels on screen right now, that'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.